Cool. Hi everyone. We'll be doing a portfolio and resume workshop tonight. So this is the main outline. So we're gonna start with the resumes first. Let's go over quick content, who's your audience, and some examples. So when it comes to resumes, you need to think about like who are you gonna be giving this to? Like who's your recruiter? So if you're going into software, you want to have the best software stuff that you know, like all your skills, all like any of that. You want to choose like the right format. You don't want to be too like, you want high contrast, but you don't want to be like bright yellow on white paper, like something that's easily readable. Another big thing is you need to think about what keywords you want to add. They really like action verbs: develop, implement, created, added, stuff like that. And then don't be afraid to have multiple resumes. For example, I have two. I have one for software and one for game dev. And then lastly, you want to be sharing it with as many people as possible. You want as many eyes so you can get as many advice on like, hey, showcase more on this, or we don't really need to see that you worked at a coffee shop like in high school, stuff like that. And then when it comes to programming and design, you want to showcase your experience. A lot of times they want to know where you worked and how long. While for art, you want to showcase the experience, but also your skills. They want to know if you worked in Adobe Suite, stuff like that. So this is my example resume. So of course, you need your header. You need to have your name, some way to contact you, phone or email. Address is a little iffy. I don't recommend putting in your like home address, but you can just say your hometown or where you live currently. Education, of course, most people here in college, so you need to show at least your GPA, what year graduated, or when you're going to graduate. For skills, so up here, what I did for my software stuff, I said, what is my like levels of skills? So for example, I say I'm adept in Java. I've spent almost 5 years in Java. I'd say that's pretty adept. But like something like assembly, I've only had one class in assembly. I don't think I'm going to advertise that to anyone. So be realistic. If someone's going to interview you about your skill, you should be willing to talk about it. Onwards to experience. So for my software, I wanted to do 2 jobs that I've done where I've had to work in programming. Something like this, saying what you did, include your time with them, of course, because they want to know what you've been doing. And then for projects, I did about 4 projects, a good number of what I've done. In here, I kept my verbs: design, implemented, built, stuff like that. But you also want to say what you've used, what tools you're using. If you're using Excel for any spreadsheeting, tell them. If you're using any programming languages, tell them. I also had coursework. This is a little iffy. Depends on what you feel like you want to showcase. But some industries, they want to know, did you do software engineering? That's apparently like a pretty big course on other universities. And then lastly, awards and memberships. Sometimes, hey, if you got awarded for something, brag about it. Upside of positive. I can quickly showcase some different resumes real quick. Here, I'll do something a little more professional. This is a game designer, David Schaefer. Aaron, where did we find this one? Okay, yeah, this is a random one that we found, but they were upselling a lot of their skills. He has an objective section. If you, for example, are going for like an internship, say it, like say what you're wanting. This guy has a really good resume since he's worked on like Titanfall, Naughty Dog, all this stuff. And then he keeps his action verbs here, just saying like what he's done. He's even said like what levels he's done. And then he puts education at the bottom. For a student, I would probably put it a little bit higher. They're probably gonna look more for that. Carl Clan. And yeah, another like designer. Relevant experiences. He uses a lot of these keywords like design, crafted. A lot of these automated programs will look for that. And then on the side, he keeps his skills. I don't use this format, but This might work for many people since he's also including soft skills as well as his hard skills. And of course, a link to your website and LinkedIn is also very useful. I'll show you my game dev one. Similar format to my software one. It's a little bit more colorful, but doesn't really have much different stuff. And I think Megan's has a decent art one. Education, some previous employment, and then their skills. These are some good soft skills that you want to be able to showcase. Most recruiters are going to be looking for this. And then telling what software, Maya, Blender, Adobe Suite. I think that covers most of resumes. I think the bigger chunk of this is going to be the portfolio. So when it comes to portfolios, the biggest question you're going to have to ask yourself is, where do you want to host it? So usually I recommend Wix or Google site. If you're an artist or like a modeler, I would say ArtStation. If you're a programmer and you're willing to go a little bit more creative with your sites, GitHub Pages. I have not used Squarespace, but I've heard similar experiences to Wix. WordPress is if you really want to like go haywire and like make some of like your own stuff, use it. So for content, if you're a programmer, you want to showcase obviously your projects, you want to have links to your repositories, and you want to have some bite-sized contents, maybe like a GIF or a video of like what you've done. Yeah, I can show you. This is Joseph, our previous business sizzle reel. Really good example if you're going for programming, something simple. Recruiters don't really have much time to look at people's portfolios. Really good way to showcase it. For art and design, you're going to be showing your thought process or your final products in most cases. I'll go into these two. These are very good. This one's an ArtStation and this one was in Wix. And then lastly, for music, you want to have samples or pieces, maybe links to like a Bandcamp or a Spotify site, places where you can stream it. Here, I can go through a couple of examples. Evan Brooks was a really good design one. So he does more, was it environmental art level design? So this is his stuff at Funcom, where he worked previously. The projects, he only has one major project, but I think it showcases a lot. Like what he does with features, levels, there's like a GIF here and a video here. But the nice chunk that I really enjoy was his levels, his level design thought process. He has like a huge document explaining like this one idea of non-destructive workflows. So this will be shared on the, what was it, in the VGC site, so people can look at this later. He's going in through his thought process, showing images of like what he's doing. The other one I might, the design process. This is something I'm inspired by. It's really well organized. He goes through the step-by-step process of how he builds his levels. So it starts from like ideation into 2D sketches, 3D sketches, then blocking that out to load. These are like super sketches. And we can just go around checking out some other portfolios. If you want to see a good art one, this is from ArtStation. So he does a lot of like surface artist stuff, so like all these weapons and metallic stuff, all that stuff he's done. From like a programming standpoint, I'll show mine first at least. So this was through Wix. So I just divided it by like my resume and my projects. I recently found out that you can do databases in Wix. So basically what you can do is, let's say you have like about 10 projects, you can make a little table saying the title, description, videos, pictures, all that stuff. And what I did was made a little like grid right here that showcases each of my projects as a little preview GIF. And then let's say Asterisk. Asterisk was a great project, so I can stop scaling right. Well, I can fix that. I have like a little gallery showcasing like what we've done. Video showing gameplay. And then let's see. This isn't right, but I'll fix it. But showcasing like what I've worked on in the project. You want to keep some sort of verb, what you're doing. You want to say what you exactly worked on. If you worked on UI, spread it. Say what you did with the UI. Oh, this is an interesting GitHub site that I saw. So this is for like our programmer. What he did was he created this filtering system. Had some GIFs for each project he worked on, and then you could go around and check out what he's done. Let's say I want to see what's playable in browser, and it's C#. Easy. Definitely will check this one out. I've gone over, I think designed. No. Go and showcase Bailey's. Bailey's has a little place where it has his music. So you can actually like, there's an embedded link to each of his songs. Okay. Any questions?